What is going on, you guys? I have some exciting news. So about 3 weeks ago, my wife and I went to a local Amish furniture store that makes custom furniture. And we put in an order for a beast, if you will. Kind of like a baseball collector. Except I'm calling mine the monster. This is going to be a long, rambling video. There's some stories behind it that I think are pretty funny, and I'll show you at the very end a picture of the drawing that I drew up. Don't make fun of it. Of a picture that I drew up, and a picture of the actual receipt of the transaction that says how much I ended up paying for it. So I'm sure if you're watching my video, you probably definitely know baseball collector Mike, and you know about the beast that he made, 2-3 years ago with his father. And it's such a freaking cool piece. It's really taken on legs here in the community as far as his, rummage through the beast videos and all that. And then you've seen a year or two later, Jake, the ticket leprechaun, made a huge beast. I'm not sure what he calls his card cabinet, essentially. I'm not sure what he calls it, but he had his dad make him one, and it has a ton of signed baseballs and all of that. And so I'm like, through the years, I've literally spent thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars on what I consider a world-class collection. And I think it's silly, this is just my opinion, I think it is silly to have a world-class collection and not have it kind of in a world-class holder. So I've been thinking about this for years and years. My wife and I have 4 kids, and we don't exactly make the most money. And I knew this was going to be extremely expensive. I know how much Mike has into his. I know a fair amount about woodworking and craftsmanship, and the better the craftsmanship, the more expensive. Like anything, you get what you pay for. So I was kind of under the mindset of I didn't want to do anything that wasn't top notch. I didn't want to settle for Tony down the road that freaking does auto mechanics, that knows a thing or two about wood to make it. So I told the wife when I was on deployment, we started mid-November, and I happened to get off the ship in mid-February. But I told her with the tax return, the 2019 tax return that we got back in, late February, early March, that I wanted to buy, or I wanted to have a custom cabinet made, a custom card cabinet. And so she was like, you know what? You've been talking about this for a long time with Mike. Let's do it. So I drew up a couple different renderings, couple different designs on the ship and all that. And so when I got back, I went to this Amish furniture store and asked, did they do custom work? And I sat down with this gentleman for over an hour. And man, we talked about all kinds of stuff. He asked to see some of my collection, so I came in the next day to finish up some of the specifics of the piece that I'm having made, and I showed him some cards, and it was just really awesome experience. So I think we're about, he said it was going to be 12 weeks. I think I have about 9 weeks left until it comes. It's already bought and paid in full. They're going to deliver it to the house. And it is absolutely stunning. I had it made out of rustic cherry. The whole piece is made out of rustic cherry wood, and rustic cherry is the same as cherry, except it has the knots in it, and I like the knots because it shows a little personality in the wood, you know what I mean? And I could have got cherry with absolutely no blemishes or no knots in the wood, and it literally was going to add $800 to the piece, which I thought was crazy, because I would rather have the knots and all that stuff in the wood than not. So that is that. I talked to Mike. Mike's known about this for a couple weeks now, and it's funny because I told him, I wanted to come up with a name. I want it to be different. be darned if I call it the Beast like him. I'm very different. I don't like to walk a mile in anyone's shoes. I like to kind of have my own trail. So what was funny, so I went to the thesaurus and I put in beast, and it had a whole bunch of different things of like different words and blah blah blah, and there were some funny ones. So I told Mike, I was like so I was thinking of like the green monster, you know, but it's not going to be green. They're going to stain it like coffee, so it's going to be a dark brown. So I told Mike, I'm like, what do you think about the brown monster? Because I was thinking like the green monster, you know, and he was like, it sounds like something you do in the restroom. So I was like, and I didn't even think about it until he said that, and I like was in tears laughing. I'm like, you know, what's funny, I was telling him, I'm like, what's funny is I told my wife, what do you think about the brown monster before I called you? And she said the same damn thing. She's like, it sounds like something you put in the toilet, not something you put your cards in. So I've taken all that away, and we're just going to call it the monster. It is going to be a full-fledged, basically the size of a full-size dresser. It's a very, very big piece. So that is that. I've been wanting to tell y'all for a while. I've seen Alex. I believe he's Bowman 53, I believe. He's having something made. Jake had something made a year or two ago. You know, Mike is kind of the inspiration behind this. I've heard of another guy, another two dudes in Facebook groups making something. When I was on deployment, I met a guy and we talked about the YouTube community, and Mike actually sent me pictures of his beast through Facebook when I was on deployment, and I showed this guy, and he actually had one made, or is having one made, for his vintage basketball cards that he collects. So this whole card furniture, if you want to call it, that's basically what it is, collectibles furniture, is really, really taken on a life of its own lately in the community. I think it's freaking awesome. If you have a world-class collection that you are proud of, why not put it in something that you can be proud of as well? So that is that. This will be the first of many, many videos about the monster. And I hope some of y'all are as excited to see this as I am. I'm like absolutely giddy. I can't stop smiling. So that is that. I will end the video now, and then after I quit rambling, I'll post 2 pictures at the very end of my rendering, my drawing that I did with a lot of the specs on it, and then the receipt, so you will see how much I paid. It was actually about $2,000 less than we were prepared to pay, or how much we thought we were going to pay. So I'm actually really, really happy with the price. So that is that. Till next time, adios, be safe, bye-bye. Y'all be safe out there. It's crazy times. Toodles. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was my drawing and the receipt. So it's pretty expensive, but I think for me personally, it's going to be well worth it. For a lot of people, it may not have been worth it. But that's that. But the reason I came back here on the video is I wanted to tell y'all down below, I'm going to put a link to Mike's video. He has multiple Beast videos. I'm going to pick maybe 1 or 2 of my favorites, and you'll see what his Beast is all about. And then also about Jake and the Leprechaun and his custom card cabinet. So that is that. Till next time, adios, be safe, bye-bye, toodles.